Theory book, page 15, level 2B. Picnic by the bay. Here we need to mark left-hand chords in these squares. And how to do that? Well, here's the explanation how to do that. So before you do page 15, you have to actually read page 14. What we are going to do here, we're going to talk about your right hand notes first, and then we're going to decide which chord to place for the left hand. Again, we're talking here only about two chords in the left hand. It's a first chord and a 5/7, 1 and 5/7. So in the key of C position, our one chord, first chord, will be the C chord. You can see C, E, G. And this is how your 5/7 looks in the C position or C scale, or sometimes we say key of C major, right? So now, how do we play these chords? Your one chord, C chord, plays like this. And then the 5/7, we're going to play three notes. We used to play just the two notes like this, but now in the level 2B, we actually can play three notes already. So that's your 5/7. And this is the pattern that you will have in the left hand. It's either this or that. Now, here you have to think which one to use. You have to decide on your own. And this is the rule. This is the rule. When your right hand plays first, third, or fifth notes of the scale, then your left hand needs to play the 1 chord or C chord. If your right hand plays notes 2, 4, 5 out of this scale, then we will use a 5/7 chord. So this is how it looks. This is your C scale. So we have C, D, E, F, G, and then it goes down G, E, F, D, C. So you can see that the C note is the first note of the scale. D is the second note of the scale. Third note of the scale is E. F is a fourth note of the scale, and G note is the fifth note of the scale. And you can see, like here, E, it's a third note of the scale, F, fourth, D is the second note of the scale, and 1 is C. And you can see that left hand follows this rule. So when you have one right here, you need to put the 1 chord. Two comes from the second pattern from here. So you need to put 5/7 into the left hand here. E, the third note of the scale. Again, it's the first pattern, and you can see they used a 1 here. Fourth, it's coming from the second pattern, 5/7. Then we have a 5. Now notice that 5 goes in both patterns, the first and the second one. So sometimes it's up to you whichever you like better. So you can try both of them. You can try 1 in the beginning and see if you like it, or you can try 5. Let's see if you like that better. Okay, so that's where it will sound good, but maybe you like something that sounds better. Okay, so here they gave us an example of 1, and partially because you have quarter notes here. You see, you hear two. Here you have two notes, 5, 3 quarter notes, and you have a half note in the bottom. So you'll have 2 notes for the right hand while playing on the 1 note in the left hand. So if it happens like this, you can see that 5/3. It comes from the first pattern. You have more of the first pattern. Okay, and again you have 4/2. Well, it's clearly the second pattern, 5/7, and then back to 1. Okay, so before you need to do this one, practice to play this exercise. So we have first, second, now let's go ahead and do page 15. The first one is done for us. Let's look at our notes. Since we are in C position, you can just rely on your fingers because it's kind of the same. But when your hand is in different positions, sometimes it's not the same. I mean, the fingers and the names, the numbers of the scale degrees or scale steps. So we have 2, and this is the 5th. And then you have 5, 4, 3, 2. So we have 2, 5, 5, 4, 2. So we have most fingers here out of the second pattern. So I'm going to use 5, 7. And then this is a C, and you have 1, 1, 2, 3, 1. Again, you have many notes here, but most of them, they are out of the first pattern. So I'm going to put a 1 in there. Okay, then we have 2, the second finger, and then we have 5th note of the scale. So we have 2, 5, it's a second pattern. So I'm going to use 5, 7 here. Now notice that the first and the second line, they are very similar. Look at the melody. Okay, the only difference here is going to be this one. So we have 2, 5, and then 1. Okay, so but here we have 2 squares. So for this one, it's a second pattern, and this is the first. Okay, let's go on. 2, 5, 3, 1. So 2, 5, 3, 1. Again, we have 2 squares. For these 2 notes, I'm going to use a 5, 7, then a 1, 5, 7. 1, and I'm going to stop right now here, and I'll let you to finish it. Okay, and then you have to play this. First, you always play the right hand first. Make sure you get good at it. Make sure you're fluent. So this is how it goes. And learn it to the end. And then when you're fluent with the right hand, see if you can experiment with the left hand. Okay, happy practicing.